St. Augustine is a very special city in the state of Florida. It is located on the northeast coast right next to the big Atlantic Ocean. A body of water called the Matanzas Bay flows right beside the city, making it a waterfront town. Many people come here because it is famous. It is the oldest city in the United States that people have lived in without stopping. This long history is not just in books, you can see it and feel it when you are there. The streets are small, the buildings are old. The whole place has a slow, gentle feeling that is different from big modern cities. It is a place where the past feels very close, almost like you can touch it with your hands. The city's story begins a very long time ago. It was founded for Spain in the year 1565. The man who started it was a Spanish admiral named Pedro Menéndez de Avilés. He arrived with ships full of soldiers and settlers. They were looking for a good place to build a new home and a safe harbor for Spanish ships. They chose this spot on the Florida coast to protect Spain's land and treasure fleets from other countries. They built simple homes, a church, a wooden fort to keep everyone safe. The history of St. Augustine is like a book with many chapters, and each chapter has a different flag. The city began under the flag of Spain, and it stayed Spanish for a very long time, for about 200 years. During this time, the Spanish built strong defenses to protect the city from pirates and from other countries like Great Britain. They built the huge stone fort that still stands today. Life was hard for the early settlers. They faced storms, sickness, and attacks, but they held on. This long Spanish period gave the city its main character, with its narrow streets and its strong Catholic faith. This Spanish soul is something you can still feel very strongly in the city. Then, in the year 1763, the flag changed. After a war, Spain gave Florida to Great Britain. For 20 years, St. Augustine was a British city. Many of the Spanish people left, and new people from Britain and its colonies came to live there. The British made some changes. They repaired buildings and worked to make the city a better place for trade. They grew crops like oranges and indigo. In 1783, after the American Revolutionary War, Florida was given back to Spain. The Spanish flag flew over St. Augustine once again. Many of the Spanish families who had left came back to their old homes. The new United States was growing bigger and stronger right next door. The final change of the flag happened in 1821. Spain sold all of Florida to the United States. St. Augustine became part of a U.S. territory and later, the state of Florida. This was a big moment. The city was now American. In the late 1800s, a rich man named Henry Flagler saw the city's beauty and history. He built grand, fancy hotels and made St. Augustine a popular winter resort for wealthy Americans. When you explore St. Augustine today, it feels like you are taking a walk through time. The most famous landmark is the Castillo de San Marcos. This is the big, old fort by the water. It is made from a special local stone called coquina, made of millions of tiny, crushed seashells. The stone is soft, so when cannonballs hit it, they would sink in instead of shattering the walls. Walk on top of the fort's high walls and look out over Matanzas Bay. From the fort, walk to the heart of the old city. The most famous street is St. George Street. No cars are allowed here, a peaceful place to walk. The street is very narrow, just like hundreds of years ago. Historic buildings with shops, restaurants, small museums. Wooden balconies hang over the street, red tiled roofs shining in the Florida sun, a musician playing guitar in a small courtyard, fresh bread baking in a cafe, a lively place full of happy sounds and interesting things to see. If you enjoy simple stories about places and their history, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us bring you more reports from interesting locations around the world. Thank you. Other beautiful sights are all around the old city. Cathedral Basilica of St. Augustine, oldest Christian parish in the country, Flagler College, former fancy hotel built by Henry Flagler, tall towers, beautiful courtyards, Spanish-style architecture, St. Augustine Lighthouse exterior, climb 219 steps inside the lighthouse, amazing panoramic view, the city and the ocean. The main engine of St. Augustine's economy today is tourism. People come from all over the United States and the world to experience this historic city. They want to see the old fort, walk the colonial streets and learn about its long past. This means that many of the jobs in the city are in hospitality. This includes working in hotels, inns and bed and breakfast. It also includes working in the many restaurants, cafes and snack shops that serve visitors. Small shops are also a big part of the economy. They sell souvenirs, local art, clothing and unique gifts that you can only find in St. Augustine. Beyond the historic tours, the city's location by the water offers many other activities. Boating and fishing are very popular here. The nearby beaches like St. Augustine Beach and Crescent Beach are beautiful. and draw many people for swimming and relaxing in the sun. The city also hosts many festivals and events throughout the year. One of the most famous is the Nights of Lights, when millions of tiny white lights decorate the entire historic district during the winter holiday season, making the city look magical. The culture of St. Augustine is a wonderful mix of different influences. The Spanish roots are very strong, but there is also a deep Menorcan heritage. Menorcans were people from a Mediterranean island who came to Florida in the 1700s. They brought their own traditions and most famously, the datil pepper. This small, hot pepper is a local treasure and is used to make a sweet and spicy sauce that you will find on tables all over the city. Seafood is also a very important part of the local food culture. With the ocean so close, you can always find fresh shrimp, fish, and oysters on the menu at local restaurants. Music and art are also alive and well in St. Augustine. You can often hear live music pouring out of restaurants and bars in the evening. Flagler College also adds to the city's life, bringing young people, energy, and cultural events to the community. In summary, St. Augustine stands as a unique and treasured place in the United States. Its story began in 1565 when Pedro Menéndez de Avilés founded it as a distant outpost for the Spanish Empire. It was the first permanent European settlement in what would become the United States, and it survived through centuries of change. It was ruled by Spain, then Great Britain, then Spain again, before finally becoming an American city. This long and varied history is not hidden away in a museum. It is the very fabric of the city itself, visible in its buildings, its layout, and its spirit. This is what makes it so different from any other city in the country. Today, the city has a look and feel that is all its own. The narrow streets of the historic district invite you to walk slowly and look closely. You will see old walls made of coquina shellstone and buildings with beautiful red tile roofs. Tall palm trees sway in the constant sea breeze, providing shade from the warm Florida sun. The air often carries the scent of salt from the nearby ocean and the sounds of church bells, distant music, and the calls of seagulls. It is a city that engages all of your senses, making you feel connected to its peaceful coastal environment and its deep, layered history. The modern economy of St. Augustine is built upon sharing its special character with the world. Tourism is the most important industry, with visitors coming to enjoy the history, the beaches, and the friendly atmosphere. This supports a wide range of local businesses, from restaurants and small shops to boat tours and fishing charters. Education is also key, with Flagler College bringing youth and vitality to the historic center. Together, these elements create a lively but relaxed economy that allows the city to preserve its past while living fully in the present. So St. Augustine is much more than just a tourist destination. It is a living, breathing city that serves as a beautiful bridge between the past and the present, more than 4.5 centuries after it was born.